Space, the final frontier. My name is Captain Foley, and these are my adventures. Captain's Log, Stardate 201604.20. Hi everybody, welcome back. I am Captain Foley. Time for Captain's Log. So, we released the part 1 of the mission briefing on the Excelsior today, and glad we did. A lot of people love the ship, a lot of people don't like the ship. It's an odd ship that way. There's love and hate for it, and there's that middle line where a lot of people like it, but they don't always like it, which is kind of cool. One of the comments that I wanted to kind of address here was somebody said, why do you guys use fan-created CG ships or CG renders and pictures and stuff for your mission briefings? And you kind of, they aren't always accurate, but yet you end up harping on a part of it that isn't accurate that you hate, and that could add to your hatred of the ship. Well, we understand that 100%. They also asked why we didn't go with official sources. The fact of the matter is, when we do the original or the full episode on the ship, it is official sources. Even so far as going using the 3D model that was actually used for the show. If it was used in a 3D manner, we have the actual models for some of those ships. So we actually get to look at the official 3D model. And when we do the full episode, also we look at the studio model and things like that. So the official full episodes on the ships are just that. They're all official sources that we use for our reference. Now for the mission briefings, no, it's just a collection of pictures that look cool or have certain aspects of it that would be cool to have, or just great shots, things like that. We collect and put into a folder and use those for the mission briefing. So I understand your concern, but at the same time, don't worry too much. We have it in hand as far as that goes, and we will be. We are aware, we are conscious of that a lot of times this is a fan-created render of the ship and it's not 100% accurate, but again, sometimes we'll see things that really stick out to us that we're like, well, they should add that to the official one, or whatever, right? So, that's that. The next thing I want to address is the Galaxy class episode. A lot of you guys really love part 1. Part 2, a lot of people kind of are on the fence about. We ended it on kind of a sour note, and I personally have to apologize for that. I wrote the script. I included a Reddit article from a guy named Brancer who talked about how the Galaxy class might have been considered a failure. A lot of people took that as us hating the ship. We don't. We love the Galaxy class here on Trekyards. It's a great ship, fantastic ship, and I know that was the second part of the part 2, and it might have seemed like a sour note to end on, but that is 100% on me. It's just the way I wrote it. It ended kind of abruptly, almost too abruptly for my liking even, now looking back on it, and I really feel bad. I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression. So we do love the Galaxy class, and we will be doing a part 3 where it's the discussion between Samuel and myself where we discuss those aspects, because there are pros, and cons for, was it a failure, was it not a failure, whatever, right? So, and a lot of those are addressed in the comment section of that video. So I apologize for that, guys. I feel really bad about that, and I wanted to just say that on here right now. Another thing, I'd like to send a shout out to Jack Scatterfield. He hasn't been feeling the best lately. He may be going off Facebook for a while, and I just want to let him know that we are always here. Captain Foley, Admiral Foley, over in the Terran Empire on his page. Is always here for you, Jack. If you need anything, just let me know, and try to cheer up. Watch Trekyards. Maybe that'll help you feel better. But we are here for you, and we will miss you if you decide to go off Facebook. So that's that. On Monday, Samuel and myself had the opportunity to do a crossover episode with the old-ass retro gamer, so as he calls himself, Christopher Pico. We did an episode on Star Trek games. Now, I've checked out his channel. I've put links to it on the Trekyards page. I'll put links to it in the description below. If I don't remember, somebody please comment and I will add it. But that episode you can expect probably sometime in May. I think late May, he said. So Samuel and myself make an appearance on there, and great guy, great show. I've watched quite a few of his episodes now. So the old ass retro gamer on YouTube, he's got some great stuff, especially his Star Wars best Star Wars video games and best and worst Star Wars video games with awesome episodes. So I encourage you guys to check those out. I've also come up with an idea for a contest for Trekyards. I'm getting something made right now that's going to be an exclusive giveaway for you guys. I'll be able to show it to you soon, but I want to get the contest kind of underway. I want Trekyards fan art, whether it's of Samuel and myself in character, in uniform doing something, and whether it's just Trekyards banner art, the Trekyards USS Trekyards on a ship, something, anything really cool. I want you guys to create something fantastic. The closing date for the contest is going to be unofficially, the end of May. I haven't decided a definite closing date yet. Like I said, the thing that I'm getting made, it's going to be one of a kind, unique. No one else will ever have one exactly like it. And I'll be able to show it to you on one of the next Captain's Logs and give you a link to the person who created it and share their page and their creative effort that they put forth. They do some great, fantastic work, and it's something that you guys are really going to like. And it's going to be a Trekyards original, one of a kind, that only you will have if you win. So start thinking of ideas for your fan art, start creating your fan art, and I want you to send it to trekyards@hotmail.com with the subject title being fan art contest. And Samuel and myself will look at them all at the end of May. As of right now, the end of the deadline is June 1st. Okay, that's when it has to be in by. That might change, but right now that's what it is. And like I said, I'll be able to show you guys what you're going to be winning, probably in the next Captain's Log, hopefully, or one of the Captain's Logs coming up soon. So, with all that being said, something else exciting is happening. I just today got a chance to write a new script for, not an episode per se, but a new project that Samuel and myself are undertaking. We've been fortunate enough to be invited to a couple of conventions this year in the States, and as such, we're going to at least one of those conventions, but we're doing a 2-week Trekyards Does America kind of tour. We're going to be starting first of all, let's start off with Wonderfest. Wonderfest, the first weekend in June, I'll be going to that. That's in Louisville, Kentucky. So I will be there, and so you can meet me there. Then, after I get back from that, I'm home for about 4 or 5 days. Then I'm on a plane to LA, where I'm going to meet up with Samuel, who's flying in from the UK, and we're going to spend about 5 days in LA, talking to Alec Peters, Doug Drexler, Rick Sternbach, getting a bunch of great Trekyards content for you guys and whatnot. And then from there, we're flying out to Denver Comic-Con, and we're going to spend the weekend for Denver Comic-Con there. And then from there, we're heading out to Montreal, and from Montreal, we're renting a car and driving 2.5 hours to Ticonderoga, New York, where we're going to talk to James Cawley, do some interviews there, do some tours of the sets, the TOS sets for Phase 2, and just have a lot of fun, and to film some specials, some little skits, episode parts, things like that. It's gonna be a 2-week working vacation essentially. So I just want to let you guys in on that, and what I wrote today is part of that whole process. And essentially, what I wrote today was the Indiegogo script. We are going to go back on Indiegogo. We'd like to raise some funds. Part of the trip is covered, but very little of it. So what we need is support from you guys to help make it happen. Now, we got some great physical perks. We haven't have them all worked out yet, but we're going to have some autographs from like John Eves, Doug Drexler, and stuff up for grabs. We've got a Star Trek Trekyards limited to 50 edition run, because it's the first run of this, 50 of them. It's a Trekyards comm badge based on my Executioner patch for the ship, the USS Executioner. So we got those as physical perks. We've got autographs. We've got digital poster art again. The chance to speak with Samuel and myself on a Skype call. Ask us any questions you guys want. Join us on an episode. Feature your ship. All those kind of things. All those kind of perks. A lot of the perks from the last Indiegogo we did, but a lot of newer ones as well, which you guys might really be into. So we are filming that video either later today or tomorrow, and then we should have the Indiegogo campaign up and running by the weekend. Now this is to raise funds, of course, for our accommodations while we're there, car rentals, food, 1 or 2 flights that we have to pay for ourselves. So that's something I want to put forth to you guys now, so that you guys are aware of it. And if you can't donate, please share it, because we would love to be able to do this trip for you guys. Now, it was almost a year ago exactly that we had our first Indiegogo campaign. I think we had 17 episodes out. We were promising if we hit our Indiegogo goals that we would make it up to 60 videos. Today we launched episode 140. So you guys, last time we asked for, I believe it was $4,000. We received almost all of that in funding from you guys. So it's fantastic. You guys really helped us out a lot. It was great. And this time we're asking for less. We're asking for $2,500, but we have some fantastic stretch goals should we reach those. And we have more people, more viewers, more subscribers now. So hopefully we can hit that goal and actually make this trip something for you guys. We're going to have hours of footage. We're going to be doing video vlogs. I'm going to be doing a video vlog the second I meet Samuel at the airport, and he'll probably be doing the same, so you get it from both perspectives. Each day we're on the road, we're going to be doing video vlogs and telling you what we're up to and things. And at the end of it, we're going to have a compilation of the whole trip. We're going to have separate interviews with people. We're going to have fantastic little funny Trekyards skits. So it's going to be a fantastic working 2-week vacation for us. So we want to help you. We want your help to make that happen. And as such, we will be launching an Indiegogo campaign probably by the weekend. And of course, you'll be seeing that everywhere, because I'll post it, and if you guys could share it or donate, that'd be fantastic. That'd be awesome. So that's the big news. Now I'm going to get into your comments and questions, and we'll go from there. Oh, look, it's the Rainbow Bright Cruiser. Woo-hoo. Yeah, see, again, my TV is cutting off the edges and the things. I've got a bunch of comments and suggestions from you guys about that, but none of them work. And to be quite honest, I'm kind of annoyed right now, because when I plugged my laptop into the computer to do this, it resized everything on my desktop and rescattered all of my desktop icons all over to one side. So it did it last time I did it as well. I had to reposition everything again. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So I got to figure something out, but I love this setup for you guys, kind of like my ready room kind of thing. And got my collection behind me here, the phaser wall, got my 3D chess set, tricorder, communicator, my 25th anniversary phaser, lots of cool stuff. So yeah. And also here, it was on the floor, I had to pause for a second to look for it, is my Starfleet Academy ring. I don't know if it's going to focus on it. But I got this back. There's the UFP symbol on the side and the Delta. I got this back when Canada's Wonderland in Toronto was a Paramount Park, and they had the Star Trek store. They had Klingons walking around, Romulans, Ferengi. It was fantastic. That's gone now. But they had a lot of cool stuff. A lot of the stuff I got in my collection I got there. So, but let's move on to your comments and questions. First is from Fox Piano. Great log. LCAR screens looking awesome. Do you have a USS Grissom model to display? One awesome ship. I do. It's one of the old FASA miniatures. I don't think that it's currently out. So no, I don't have it out right now. A lot of my FASA miniatures are put away right now. So, but yes, I do have one. I think it's probably all busted up, that one. Mark Lawrence, when you have an Indiegogo set up, I'll definitely contribute. Awesome. This weekend. Somehow 2016 is turning out to be the year I meet most of the people I sub to on YouTube. Okay. Sorry, there we go. Skyla, or Sky, says, hey, salute back to you, sir, on behalf of us down under. Go Team Trekyards Australia. I wouldn't complain if there was a captain's log more often. Well, I plan on doing more of them, but life happens and I get busy, so but here you go. Here's one today. I hope one day we can get a big enough presence in Australia that you and the commander can come down to one of the events here in, like, AvCon or something. I spent a lot of time forcing friends to watch Trekyards at Phaser Point if necessary. Be nice, guy. And the new setup is cool. I missed the sound effects provided by the furnace. Haha. Well, the furnace is just on the other side of this wall, so maybe you will hear it at some point. But yeah, as for the convention circuit thing, we hope it'll be more of a regular thing. This is going to be our first one, and we want to make trips like this more frequently, maybe once a year kind of thing. We don't know yet. We do have another one, Trek Condoroga, in August that we've been invited to as guests. We can't make it there physically. I might be able to. I might be able to drive down because it's relatively close. But if not, both Samuel and myself will be Skyping in live to do a panel on the 50 years of the Starship Enterprise, of a starship called Enterprise, something like that. So we'll be Skyping in live for a panel, a Trekyards panel on that. So yeah, we hope that these become more of a regular thing, these tours and these convention appearances for us. Wake Roberts. Wow, 2 captain's logs in 1 week. Score. I do like the new format. I'd say use both and mix it up a little, as I plan to do. This is kind of a different angle than even the last one. Trying to get more of the collection in here. I know I'm standing in the way, my ugly mug. There you go. Maybe I'll do it this way for a minute. My next question for you, if you could change one thing from Star Trek lore, i.e. change history, other than anything having to do with JJ Trek, what would it be? Wow, that's a difficult question. I would make sure that Enterprise didn't get destroyed in Star Trek 3. Well, maybe not, because it was going to be decommissioned. It was going to get kind of a, a dishonorable discharge, an honorable discharge, but, it doesn't, not befitting of the Enterprise. So, it crashing, or self-destructing, maybe I would have changed. I don't know. That's a really tough call. Yeah, I can't honestly say. Maybe that Excelsior never would have been built. Not a fan of the Excelsior. Maybe that they got a different Enterprise instead of Enterprise A at the end of Star Trek 4. Maybe like Spenny's Enterprise. No. I really can't say. That's a tough call. Everything turned out perfectly the way it was supposed to. I think it's fine. So I'm going to kind of move over here now again. Jess Hall, great captain's logs. The captain's logs are some of my favorite. Well, thank you. I really like seeing all of your collection in the background, but this new set with the fancy LCARs in the background on the big screen really has a captain's ready room feel to it. It's like you're addressing the crew. Yes. Attention crew, this is your captain speaking. Please ignore all the naked women in the background. I have an important announcement for you all. Thank you for addressing my question and being so detailed. Really happy to hear your true opinion on the kit bashing. I agree 100%. I think you mentioned you have created a few kit bashes before. I would really like to see them if you still have them and are willing to show 1 or 2 of them. I used to be an amateur model builder, built cars and aircraft, but have only one built Trek model, a Galileo Type 7 shuttlecraft. I got at my first convention 23 years ago. I'd really like to get back into modeling and building some more Trek models. Any good ship suggestions you had would be good for someone who hasn't built in some time. Sorry for the long comment. It's okay. Yes, please get back into model building. I was out of it for quite a few years, got back into it like 5 years ago, and it's a great way to just relieve stress and take your mind off of things. I have a lot of model building videos on the channel here as well, so check those out and get to see what's going on. As for building something that's easy, any of the new Polar Lights AMT or Polar Light stuff, 1/1000 scale, beautiful to build. They fit together beautifully. They look great. Even if the 350 TOS is something you want to, if you're interested in, it's not a bad price point. It's a little expensive, but if you're not lighting it and whatnot, it goes together beautifully. It's a beautiful design model. As for my kit bash, I'll go show you one. So these are hanging over my workbench right next to Trekyards Central Command over here. But I kit bashed this one together from an old AMT TOS Enterprise. This is NCC 211B. The USS Holmes. It's a research vessel. Science vessel. It's probably very dusty. But very chintzy, cheap kit bash that I just threw together because I was going to build the Connie, but there's a whole video on what happened to that I messed up the secondary hull and had the parts and thought, why not do something kind of interesting, kind of like a TOS style Miranda. So there you go. That's my example of a kit bash. Yeah, so here's Trekyards command. Ta-da! My computer is missing because it's in the other room. Back to normal-ish. All right, so hope that answered your question, Jess. Ricardo Warner, is that the JJ prize on your shirt? Well, last time I was wearing this shirt right here. And yes, this is the JJ prize. Got this from my sci-fi block. But if you'll notice, this JJ prize... Here, let me readjust this a little. There we go. This JJ prize doesn't look retarded. Okay? The engines are spaced far enough apart that it looks normal. It still has the curved struts and the oddly shaped engines, but I don't mind all that because the proportions are right. Don't know if it's just the yellow line in the middle between the engines that makes it look that way, or whether they're actually spaced farther apart. But in my honest opinion, that's a pretty cool looking ship, JJ Enterprise or not. So thank you for paying attention and for noticing that in the last Captain's Log. Yes, it is a JJ Enterprise, but yeah. Okay, so next is Jason Aldridge. On the Trekker discussion, Trekkie is someone who watches the shows, but also goes to the conventions and dresses up as the characters. Trekker is someone who watches and appreciates the shows, but doesn't go to the conventions or dresses up as the characters. This was explained in the first documentary hosted by Denise Crosby, if I am not mistaken. Hope that clears up the matter, Captain. By the way, I'm now a Trekker, but used to be a Trekkie in my younger days. Well, I don't know if I buy that explanation personally. The Trekkies documentary, in my honest, humble opinion, as your captain, really kind of made Trekkies in a bad light. It made us look bad. The people they chose to interview, things like that, it didn't represent us, I don't think. And as you can see, I'm clearly, proudly a Trekkie. So... Ballroom Scott. In regards to Alec Peters, I can safely say that to know him is to love him, and to love him is to know him. Those who know him, love him, and those who do not know him, love him from afar. I know he'd love that. It's true, Alec is a great guy. I talked to him yesterday. Excited to talk to him down when we're in LA. Him and Rob Burnett, we've got some skits arranged with them. We got a few discussions. We want to talk about some interviews. There's a lot more to him than just Axonar stuff. So I'm excited to share that with you guys in interview format and have some really cool content for you guys when we come back from that trip. So, Cloudzilla. Captain, fun tidbit. As someone who moves locomotives and freight trains, I've noticed something. The metallic warp sound on the JJ prize sounds exactly like a locomotive engine under heavy load from inside the cab. Also, when the generators kick on, it is the same sound the JJ Enterprise makes during maneuvers. I hate the JJ prize, but it makes me smile every time I hear it. I'm guessing the sound designers were inspired by these sounds. Keep on trekking. That's very cool. I'm a huge train fanatic. I love steam locomotives and like the Berkshire and the Hudson and, you know, big steam locomotives that really powerful looking. I think diesels are, you know, ugly. There's nothing mechanical or moving around on them on the outside, so they're nothing fantastic in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So Samuel is messaging me right now currently while I'm filming a Captain's Log to check something out because we're going to be filming soon. But anyway, you guys are my priority right now, so let's move on to the next comment. K Shade. Looks like my comment on the last video got caught up by the spam filter, probably because of the link I put in it. Oh well, I'll repost it. Captain, have you and the commander seen Enterprise D 3D project? Search for Enterprise D Virtual Tour on YouTube. The game isn't released yet though. where one guy is creating the entire ship, interior and exterior, in a modern gaming engine. It reminds me of Elite Force's free roam mode that opened up a bit more of the ship than you could see in the campaign, including the ability to creep around in Harry Kim's quarters. I think there's also a fan-made Enterprise E-map for Elite Force 2. Yes, there is. Anyways, I'm bringing this up because I think that the longer video of either of those with your commentary would be fun. That might be a great idea, actually. Yes, I am aware of the project, especially the one, I think it's the one you're actually talking about, where you're on the shuttle and you go into the shuttle bay, and the shuttle bay is huge, and you walk around the shuttle bay and go into some of the quarters and go up to the bridge and to the conference room. And it's, yes, I'm aware of them, and they're fantastic, absolutely. Yeah, I think commentary might be in order at some point. Shondis Buddy Guy. With regards to megaphasers, the power output and purpose was further explained in the book Star Trek Dynamics, which I have, and we used it for our Miranda class episode. I used it for a few other things as well, so yes, I have that one. And Starfleet Prototype, which I don't have. From what I recall, ship-mounted phasers were referred to as phaser 8s and phaser 9s. And megaphasers were phaser 10s. Yes, I think that's right. As to why they were no longer mounted, and ball turrets were eventually upgraded, developed beyond the need for stationary cannon and would require ship maneuvering for proper firing arcs. I wouldn't call either of the books canon, as they were written before Star Trek 6, and I don't believe with permission from Paramount. However, the explanations the explanations of pretty much, well, everything is intelligently written. Yes. It also mentions in Starfleet Prototype that the Constellation class had 3 phaser cannons mounted in the front part of the saucer. I can't recall if it was an actual ship model, had the detail on it or not, but the schematics use the unusual structures as such, only calling them a phaser cannon and not a mega phaser. So yes, lots of fantastic side cannon stuff that really should have been canon, but they decided to just not do it. So this comment went on a little bit, but it's got cut off here, so I apologize. Mortal MC, awesome log. Where'd you get that shirt? I really want to get one. Like I said, I got it from Nerd Block, well, from specifically Sci-Fi Block. That was last month's. Well, sorry, it was this month. It was April 2016 Sci-Fi Block. Dead Thing 79. Here's a green screen idea. Buy bright green poster boards and set them up in a room in your house. Well, I would, but I have kids, and every room in this house is covered with paintings and swords and collectibles, and I don't really have a room with just a blank wall. Maybe when the kids move out, I can do something like that. So, great suggestion. Fox Piano again. Just watched your Superman vs. Batman review. Agree completely with all of the points you made. Found the movie a little difficult to follow myself. Thank you. Brett Machusi, hope I said that right. I'm sorry, but that ship in the opening animations is so ugly. What, my Dreadnought? Teach his own. I love the Dreadnoughts. I think they're amazing. Love the new background and enjoy the effort you make to keep things fresh. Well, thank you. Daniel Collins, awesome shirt, Captain. Might have to check out Sci-Fi Block to see about getting one. I have a similar one, just with the TOS Enterprise, Millennium Falcon, and Serenity on it, with their speed stripes traveling vertically. Further to the question about whether you would join the Maquis, how would you have handled the situation in Deep Space Nine where Captain Benteen in the Lakota was ordered to stop the Defiant from reaching Earth at any cost, basically to fire on your own? Benteen was just following orders, but ultimately they came from a corrupt admiral. It was something covered in Babylon 5, where crews justified the actions as just following orders, but morally, they were making the right decision. Well, I've come to trust no admirals in Star Trek because they're all a bunch of pricks. Seriously, look back at it. About 85% of the admirals we actually see on screen are a bunch of dicks. So I don't know if I'd actually listen to an admiral regardless. If I think it's the right thing to do to not stop them, I will find a way to fling my wooden shoes called sabots into the machinery to make them get away. I don't know. It depends on the situation. That's really a tough call for any captain, any commander, any leader to make. So That's tough. I'm sorry. Chris Cohn. Hey guys, thanks for making life more enjoyable. Again, for Star Trek fans. You're welcome. Especially as Prime Universe types. I was wondering if you consider doing a full episode or mission briefing on the various ship concepts designed for the unrealized Star Trek Final Frontier animated show. I'm not in love with their Enterprise 01 concept, but it's interesting. And along with other ships, they're like the Enterprise BSG, the Hammerhead, the Dragonfly. They do seem to be thoughtful designs worthy of discussion. If I recall correctly, I think you've referenced one or more of these ships here or there, but it would be cool to have it fleshed out more. Anyways, thanks again. What you're doing is seriously appreciated. Well, thank you. We aim to please. And yes, that Enterprise, the one you're talking about, is very interesting. Of course, we will do ships like that. We have on the to-do list right now concept ship designs, sketches and drawings from John Eves and stuff for various shows and movies that never got built that we'd love to talk about, and that would probably fit in that foray right there. So I don't know if we do one episode on it or an episode on specific show ideas or whatever, but yes, it'll definitely be something that we will look at. Michael Graham, really enjoyed the Captain's Log. Love getting to see some more of your collection. I want that poster of the Vulcan woman on the wall behind you. She looks very logical. Yes, most logical. Doubly logical, shall we say. That's one of the posters from Star Trek Online when it first came out. Michael Lohr, thank you, Stuart, for the Captain's Log. I love that a lot of fans ask some of the questions that have passed through my head as well. I love the detailed, oriented, full episodes on Trekyards, mission briefings, and top 10s, but I also love the personal touch in the Captain's Logs and your devotion to answer fans' questions. I know how that one fan feels about going through a divorce. When I went through a divorce from my first marriage, I camped out on the couch with a bottle of whiskey and all the seasons of TNG, DS9, and Voyager, and that got me through it. Keep your chin up, mate. Yeah, so a lot of people have been there. I don't say we've all been through it, but a lot of people have been through difficult times like that. So you're not alone. You can always come here and talk to us, and we will definitely help you out. And thank you for that, Michael. Dustin Chataway. Captain Stewart, do you like JJ versus Excelsior class any better than you dislike the Prime Excelsior class? I actually like the JJ version of the Excelsior and the Miranda. I've seen the JJ version of the Miranda that has the bigger nacelles on the bottom. They look nice. They suit that design beautifully. The Excelsior is a little still, but it's way better than our Prime Excelsior as far as I'm concerned. So there you go. M. Nagojadsk. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, near Philadelphia. Creation Con Lista Convention, August 26th, 28th, 2016, in the Crown Plaza. Yeah, thank you. That was one of the suggestions that we go to that one, but I don't know about that. We'll see. Jedi Kal-El Star Killer. Quite a amalgamation there. I can't believe both you and Samuel might be coming to Denver Comic Con. Woo woo. Well, we will be. That is freaking awesome. I've been wanting to meet you both since I found your channel. You guys even inspired my friend who I got into Trekyards, and I too do our own top 10 list. Top 10 ships, top 10 aliens, etc. We would bang, etc. I look forward to meeting you and Sam more than most of the other guests who are invited. Oh, come on now. That I just can't believe. But thank you anyway. You're now up there with my top 3, Carrie Fisher, Stan Lee, and John Rhys Davies. How can I help get you guys there? Support us on Indiegogo. Just pay attention to the Trekyards page. When the Indiegogo link goes up, go grab a perk you're interested in, something you want, donate, and help us out and get us there, because I would love to meet you and chat with you in person. I think it'd be fantastic. Donovan Porter, hey Captain, do you think the Larson class would have had like Excelsior or Ambassador or even a Galaxy class variant? What are your thoughts? I'm sure all the ships at some point would have variants, or at least variants that were on the drawing board that never got developed due to cost reasons or impracticality. But I'm sure every ship has a variant of some kind, design-wise, that could be developed, I'm sure. I'll move over here now so you can see more of my collection again. It's kind of washed out with the lighting. Sorry, guys. PGO P. Giovanni Jr. I keep saying that wrong, probably, don't I? That's Paul, one of our admin team members. I think he corrected me once about the pronunciation of his name. I got a phone call coming in, but I don't know that. Hey, Captain, can you tell me where you get all your Elcar screensavers? I'm going to punch you right through this. And also, how come the Miranda and Constellation classes don't have deflector dishes? Okay, you're asking for it, Paul. I'm coming to find you. Just kidding, winky face. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Real question for you. If you had to give up all your Trek memorabilia except one piece, what would you want to keep and why? Ooh, that's just not nice. That's not nice. I would probably keep my 350 scale Polar Lights Lit Enterprise because I built it. It's a huge model of my favorite ship. And I built it with my own little hands, and it lights up, and it's fantastic. And that's a trick question. You can't answer that. I would rather die than give up all my Star Trek collectibles. That's the Kobayashi Maru. The question you just asked me, this is ironic timing, is the Kobayashi Maru. It's a no-win scenario, so I would cheat and keep everything, or main majority of things. So there you go. Thank you, computer. Kobayashi Maru. Paul, your question is a Kobayashi Maru no-win scenario. So perfect timing. Steve-O, love these videos. Keep them up. Up, up, to the roof. Up. No, that was not called for. I'll just stop that now. Empyrean Frost, sorry about the phaser rifle question. LOL. What would you say is your favorite non-NX class Enterprise era Starfleet ship and Federation member world ship? Also, as a Starfleet officer, I would have done something to help the Maquis, help the against the Cardassians. In my Star Trek RPG game, my entire ship does. Cool. I can't recall the name of the ship offhand, but it's kind of like a pointed hull configuration that you see swoop in the Mirror Universe intro. That's a cool NX era ship. And as for the other ships, probably the Andorian ships. There's some cool Andorian ships that I absolutely love in Enterprise, which we got to do it. We have to do a mission briefing on. That's right. Yes, we got to do that. Thank you. Jason Powlett. For the LCAR screen on your TV, if you try to configure your video card and monitor for your TV's native resolution, most 36-inch TVs have a native resolution of either blah, 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 and 42, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, I've tried. I haven't messed with the video card or anything. But I have tried all the settings on the TV. Nothing works. It doesn't have overscan or anything like that. And I don't know why plugging an HDMI cable from my TV into my computer affects my computer's resolution and changes my icons on my screen. That just irritates the shit out of me. Thank you, though, for any suggestions you guys have in that regard. Ebenezer, 1690. With all due respect, Captain, you really need to work on the whole Excelsior hate thing. It's the only unattractive part of your personality. Aw. Well, like, if you watch the mission briefing, there are parts of it that I like, and I do get a little bit of a new appreciation for it while looking at it so closely under a microscope. Part 2 comes out next week, so you have to wait for that, but it's a fantastic episode, and I actually really enjoy that episode, despite it being a ship that I don't really like, so maybe that tells you something. Valor Dragon. Do you remember when you said, what captain has ever said, punch it? I hate to say it, but in both Best of Both Worlds, Riker turns to Data and said, punch it. Though I cannot for the life of me remember which part of Best of Both Worlds it is in. I heard it when I was rewatching both on Netflix. Well, there you go. But then again, Riker's more of a Han Solo type character than anybody else, besides Kirk, I guess. But yeah, punch it just doesn't. Thank you for pointing that out, though. I'll have to keep an eye open for that, or an ear open for that next time. Starfleet Battles try that again. SFB Addict, which stands for Starfleet Battles, I'm sure. What would Shatner say? And then he sends a link. Regarding cutting off the TV screen on the remote, there should be a button that says aspect ratio options, native 16:9, 4:3, and full screen, etc. Yeah, I've already tried that. Nope. Still cuts it off. Regarding Trek things, you had mentioning other interesting things or videos regarding Trek that you had come across in your vids. That had come across me. Okay, let's try that again. Regarding Trek things, you had mentioned mentioning other interesting things or videos regarding Trek that you had come across in your vids. Oh, interesting facts and stuff. Yes, I realized I've kind of stopped doing that. I need to start that up again. I used to have like interesting little nuggets of information, but maybe I'll think of something before the end of this video. Who knows? Enterprise H. I see that my comment on the last Captain's Log was filtered out, but did you enjoy the fanon on the Bajorans? What's fanon? Oh, can fanon. Well, I hate everything about the Bajorans, so probably not. I always keep forgetting to ask this question, so without further ado, have you seen B-Belt Enterprise J here on YouTube? And if so, what do you think of it? Haven't seen it, have to check it out. About Harrison Ford, that does not sound too dissimilar to Leonard Nimoy wanting to quit after Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. That is why Spock died in the movie. He was not supposed to come back. Yeah, but he didn't hate the franchise that made him famous, and even if he did, he acknowledged it to his fans that it's what is important to them. Harrison Ford's just kind of a dick. Enterprise H again, paraphrasing from my original comment, sans the question. Very interesting. I was somewhat expecting you to pick the species from Starfleet battles. Maybe it would make for an interesting list of non-canon aliens. Bridge Commander and Elite Force had some excellent aliens in my opinion. By the way, I know that you don't like the Bajorans, and this may change that. I read something on a fan site which improves my mood. I think of it, controversial theory amongst Bajorans, what the ridges on their nose were an indicator that they used to have a small elephant-like trunks in the earlier stages of their evolution. The thought of Kira with an elephant's trunk never fails to produce a smile on my face, and I hope it does the same for you when life gets you down. That's amusing. I like that. Yeah, me and the wife here are just starting to rewatch Deep Space Nine every night, and yeah, she's just one character I can't stand. I can't stand anything about her. I don't think she's attractive. I think she's a super uber bitch. She needs to calm the fuck down. And I know by the end of the series she sort of does, but not really. So I really can't stand her. I just don't like her. I just not a Kira like her. Sorry. Trying. Really trying. Jamie Rivera. Love this format. It was wonderful. Thank you. USS Arkansas. Yes, kit bashes are cool to do and fast to design like I do. I just did the Halifax Class Heavy Frigate for all my Northern brothers. The class is named for Halifax, Canada, and the refit is named for the real Canadian Navy frigate. You said you like the Shanley class, but would like the warp engines in more to the hull. So I designed the Halifax from the Benton class cruiser and the Shanley class. Talk to you later. Northwest Arkansas out. Yeah, you did a fantastic job. The Halifax looked really nice. Captain Sambikos, can I please join Trekyards? No. Of course you can. Hit the subscribe button. Come over to Facebook. Find there's quite a few Trekyards sites on Facebook pages. There's the official page. There's the declassified page, which you have to. It's one of the perks for the Indiegogo. There's the model page. There's the Starfleet Online page. There's the Timelines page. So there's a bunch of Trekyards pages. Come join them all. Join us. Be one with us. Bill McRae. Hey, that convention I was talking about in Cherry Hill is in August. They sent a link for it. Thank you, Bill. Captain Sambikos. I don't know. How could I get my design on your show? And then Commander Cockings answered him. Email trekyards@hotmail.com. Thanks. Yeah, we have quite a few different options now for if you want to do a Trekyards original on your ship. A few different options payment-wise and what you get in those packages. So message us and we will fill you in on any details that you have or any details that you want to know about because you don't have them because you're contacting us. And look, it's my ship's log. It's captain's log. Same thing, you know. Boop, boop. Oh, record. Captain's log. Stardate 201604.20. Making the captain's log at the moment, so I'm going to put this away. And I hit record to stop, and alas. Back to you, fine fellows. Mark Fields. Hello, Captain. How are you? I know that you do review movies every once in a while, and I look forward to your review on Star Trek Beyond when it comes out later in this summer. Yes, I do too. But I am hoping that you also do one for Independence Day 2. I always like to hear your opinions on films just as much as I like hearing about your opinions on Star Trek and how wonderful the ships and the wonderful ships they're in. I wish you and the Commander and your families be safe. Well, thank you. I think a lot of my movie reviews just sound stupid when I listen to them back, but I would say it's just like if you're sitting in a room with me watching the movie, this is how I would be talking, this is what I'd be saying about the movie. Just us hanging out, basically. And Independence Day 2 does not look hopeful for me. It looks too unlike the first one. It just looks ridiculous. So I'm not super excited about it, but we'll see. Kharkov. Okay, wow. I came home, and what to my delight did I have but another captain's log. First thing I thought was, what have we done to be blessed with this? Then I thought, uh-oh, the captain is not happy and has to get something off his chest. That's funny. But then I started to watch it, and wow, Stuart, it was great. I like the new background, and you seemed a little happy and with a little pep in your step. Yeah, I was pretty good mood that day. Thank you for the amazing log. Question about the Larson model. Is that a kit bash model, or can you purchase those as is? I believe Bill McCrae kit bashed that one, but you can buy Larson model conversion kits, I believe. Don't know where exactly, but yeah. Jonathan, oh, 2 more comments. Jonathan Uraths. Hey, Captain, unrelated question about Star Trek or Trekyards, but being from Canada, I was wondering if you were a fan of Trailer Park Boys. I know they are lowbrow and crude, but I do enjoy their antics. I absolutely love Trailer Park Boys. It's hilarious. Bubbles and anyway, Bubbles is fantastic. Ricky, it's the one with always has the Ryan Coke. Yeah, fantastic show. If you haven't watched Trailer Park Boys, guys, go do it. It's a funny show. You have to have kind of a weird sense of humor to appreciate it, but there you have it. And the last question is from Captain Lokiowa. For some reason, you always end up with the last question. I don't know how you do it. It's a conspiracy. Mon Capitaine. I say Commandant to Samuel because Commandant is French for commander. But commander is commander for commander in Star Trek universe and in everything we say, so you should call him commander. He's not a commandant. He's not French, and we're not French. So he's a commander. Captain's orders, you call him commander from now on. As for your TV screensaver, it was me, Snaps. I'm a Q, of course, and also a part-time mortal human captain from the 25th century. Excelsior. Ever since I was 5 years old, when I all watched was Trek and Star Wars movies. I was always fond of the big lass, even when Scotty made that funny remark, "Aye, and if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a wagon." Just something I've noticed. Every time I'd watched your episodes with guests, I wish they'd all wear uniforms or something Trek like my favorite designer or idol designer, Doug Drexler. Well, there's going to be autographs from Doug Drexler as one of the perks for the Indiegogo, Captain Lokiowa, if you want one. Just saying. Lame question, but it's the best I can think of. Do you think Khan would be able to outsmart the Borg, or do you think that they would find a way to control him if he was given the full knowledge of the Federation and alien tech like Cumberbatch's Khan was? All right, first things first. The uniforms, I don't want to tell our guests you have to wear a uniform to be on our show. Doug just wants to do it. He's fun. He's entertaining. He's Doug. So that's fine to ask him to wear one. But most of the guests, Samuel, he's into video and, creating content and stuff. So he's always like, put your camera down a little bit. You got a little too much headroom. The shirt you're wearing is too dark. Go change. And I'm like, ugh. I just feel bad for the guests because I'm like, they're here. They've taken the time to talk to us. Let's not be picky. But so to make them wear a uniform is just ridiculous. If they want to, I'm sure a few of them would. Scott Nakata would. Doug Drexler would. John Eves probably would. Rick might. But yeah, something's not needed. And the last thing about the Borg, would Khan be able to defeat the Borg? Probably not. If anything, the Borg would really want him in the collective because of his superhuman intelligence. Not that it would really matter with all the races they've assimilated. So I don't know. I can honestly say no to that question. I don't think that Khan would be able to defeat the Borg. Even given all the information that the Cumberpatch from the JJ universe was, I don't think so. No. That's it, my friends. That's it from this Trekkie for today. Captain's Log is over. Thank you for all your questions, as always. Looking forward to more questions and comments on this video. If you have any questions about the Indiegogo, put them here. But chances are, by the time I get around to answering them in the next Captain's Log, we're already going to have the Indiegogo released, and you're going to have the answers to your questions probably already. So keep that in mind. Don't forget about the Star Trek Trekyards art contest. Has to be something Trekyards related. It has to be a Trekyards ship, Trekyards banner, Trekyards station, Trekyards picture of Samuel and I in universe, in costume. Nothing inappropriate will be allowed. So don't do anything stupid. It has to all be, safe for viewing and all that jazz. And send it to trekyards@hotmail.com, and in the subject matter put Trekyards art contest. That is all. One of my next Captain's Laws, you will see what you'll be receiving as a first prize gift for that contest, and I'm looking forward to all of your entries. Anything is welcome as long as it's appropriate, like I said. And yes, stay tuned for the Indiegogo thing, and I guess I'm out of here for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Captain Foley signing off. Bye, everybody.